heard Andy, it's done. This cast, guys, as you know it, is over.
I suspect that they are going to be dropping off some people and bringing additional new people in. But you can't continue the way we're doing it now, because right now it is basically two separate shows. I've heard the same thing as Teresa being asked to leave as opposed to being fired.
Some people are saying it's a new era for New Jersey, that you're going to completely reshake up the cast. Is there any truth to that?
I wish that I had an answer for you. We actually don't. We're going to figure it out.
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. Today, we'll be running through all the latest news around Bravo's most controversial housewife of the moment, Teresa Giudice, and her future on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. While Teresa has been rumoured to be leaving The Real Housewives for a few years, it seems that her time might finally be up. In this video, we'll be unravelling all the headlines around Teresa's rumoured departure from the show, delving into public comments made by Teresa's old friend and castmate Frank Catania, her brother and sister-in-law Joe and Melissa, castmate Margaret Josephs, producer Andy Cohen, and even Teresa herself, to uncover if her time as an OG on Real Housewives of New Jersey has finally come to an end. Is she really being fired? Has she chosen to leave? Has Louie finally pushed Bravo producers and execs too far? There's so many differing opinions and outlooks to get through, guys, so stay tuned to the end to hear all the gossip. Before we dive in, I'd like to ask you a massive favour to please subscribe if you're new to this channel. I release new videos on reality TV news and behind the scenes drama every other week, and I'll be following these stories closely to make sure I bring you further updates as they happen. So please like this video, comment below what you want to see next, hit that notification bell, and subscribe if you're interested in more rundowns. Right, let's get into it. Following a dramatic final episode to Real Housewives of New Jersey Season 14 and a highly anticlimactic cast rewatch and reaction episode, it seems the future of Real Housewives of New Jersey and the fate of its cast is up in the air, especially when it comes to OG Teresa Giudice. The cast divide was clear this season after Teresa refused to film with Melissa Gorga, and the two were barely in any scenes together all season, except the explosive finale episode filmed at the Rails, which saw Danielle leaping over the table for Jen Aiden and Teresa calling her sister-in-law a whore from across the room.
Go home, my husband is waiting for me at the door. Your husband with the boobs and you got the broad, honey. Cut it out! Cut it out! You're the queen of this shit. Fuck you! Fuck you! Come on! No. You animal! They learn from the best white trash. Whore. I'm Antonio. Whore. My brother married her.
But this divide and drama has left producers struggling to decide where to go next. In a group so deeply divided and refusing to film together, someone, or everyone, needs to leave for the show to continue. Teresa was one of the first housewives to clarify that she wasn't going anywhere, but given some recent cryptic messages on her Instagram stories and comments from castmates and Andy Cohen, which we'll get into later, it seems we can't be so sure. On August 12th, Teresa shared a post to her Instagram story saying, quote, "Sometimes God closes doors because it's time to move forward. He knows you won't move unless your circumstances force you. Trust the transition, God's got you." This sounds as though she's moving on from the show and perhaps even being prompted to move on by Bravo execs. Maybe Teresa is done with the drama and toxicity of the show, especially after all the trauma her, Louie, and her daughters are already going through. Maybe she just wants a break from it all. Perhaps these stories could be gearing up her followers for the blow that she'll be leaving Real Housewives of New Jersey. What do you guys think? Would she be willing to leave like this? After this post, Teresa also shared another story which suggested she's completely done with Melissa and Joe, and maybe even all the feuds with Margaret and the other housewives. It said, quote, "Time decides who you meet in your life. Heart decides who you want in your life. Behavior decides who will stay in your life." To some, it sounds as though Teresa is laying down her weapons and ready to move on. Her last newsworthy Instagram story came as she reshared a post from a fan who had commended her from her time on The Real Housewives. It said, quote, "24 seasons of seeing Teresa Giudice standing strong, never needing anyone to defend her battles, even if it had to take her knocking things off the table. It was worth every bit of it. She's an iconic housewife, and I know for a fact no matter what, I'll see Teresa on Bravo some way, somehow. She will be on TV. Iconic seasons thanks to Teresa." This has some speculating that Teresa will be leaving Real Housewives of New Jersey, but perhaps returning to Bravo in another capacity. Maybe in her own spin-off, which focuses on her, Louie, and her daughters. I honestly think this could be the case, as Teresa has such a huge fan base and makes a lot of money for Bravo. She's synonymous with the Real Housewives, and I doubt Bravo would fire someone like Teresa. But fans of Real Housewives of New Jersey are calling for her to leave the cast, and Andy has discussed a rumoured shakeup, which we'll get into shortly. So maybe a move to her own show would make the most sense for Teresa, Bravo, and all the other cast members. Further evidence for this came in an interview that Teresa did with Kelly Ripa on her podcast Let's Talk Off Camera at the end of July.
But they couldn't do a show without you.
I mean, thank you. I would hope not. So, Bravo, I hope you're listening. I mean, listen, Bravo, I guess they have a decision that they, obviously that they're going to be making.
This suggests not only would she be willing to return to season 15, but also that despite the rumours of her leaving the show, she still has a good relationship with Bravo and there's no tensions with her and producers. So maybe her own spin-off could be on the cards and could satisfy fans of Real Housewives of New Jersey, as well as Teresa's fans and the Bravo producers too. What do you guys think about this? Would you watch a spin-off on Teresa and her family? Do you think this is even a possibility? One final word from Teresa on her situation came when she was asked by the Daily Mail who her dream cast would be for season 15 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa said, "Obviously me, Jennifer Aiden, Dolores Catania, Jackie Goldschneider," adding, "I don't know about Jennifer Fessler. I mean, I like Jen Fessler, but I guess she would have to decide. And I think that's it. So it's up to Jennifer if she would want to come back. But I like Jen." So there's no further hints there. Although Teresa has stayed fairly tight-lipped in the press other than a few cryptic posts, a couple of Teresa's castmates have spoken out on the subject, including Frank Catania, Melissa Gorga, and Margaret Josephs. We'll dive into all of these throughout the video, but let's start with Teresa's old friend and fan favourite house husband, Frank Catania. In an episode of the Lisa Alistui podcast, which premiered on YouTube on August 2nd, Frank added fuel to the fire and the predictions that Teresa may be asked to leave Real Housewives of New Jersey, but will pop up on another Bravo series elsewhere.
I've heard the same thing as Teresa being asked to leave as opposed to being fired. But it's a shame because, I see Teresa landing someplace because Teresa, across all the franchises, is probably the most recognizable housewife in the world.
When it comes to the fate of the rest of the cast, Frank said, quote, "I suspect that they're going to be dropping off some people and bringing additional new people in, as well as keeping some people on." He added, quote, "You can't continue the way we're doing it now because right now it's basically two separate shows. You've got a reality show where half the cast won't film together with the other half of the cast. How are you supposed to have a reality show?" In this same interview, Frank, who has known Teresa since they were children, also said he thinks Teresa has changed in the last few years and since being with Louie. And this relationship is what has finally brought down Real Housewives of New Jersey as it currently stands. He said, quote, "Teresa has changed. In my opinion, she's changed since Louie's been around. She's just not herself, not the Teresa I grew up with." He added, quote, "There have been such angry arguments in this show, and it has never ever got to the point it has gotten to right now. And the only thing different is Louie." After this interview, headlines started popping off, using this as the confirmation they needed that Teresa would be leaving Real Housewives of New Jersey once and for all. But Frank was quick to walk back these rumors over on Instagram. After Page 6 shared a post featuring the story of what Frank said about Teresa being asked to leave, one user commented, quote, "At Frank Catania Sr. has denied saying he knows about any Bravo casting decisions. Frank, share the truth on here." Frank then replied, setting the record straight, saying, quote, "That is correct. I have no idea what the network is doing, and I can assure you that I am the low man on the totem pole, and will be the last to find out when they do make a decision. Quite simply, I said if Teresa was not to come back, it would not be because they would fire her, but would probably ask her to leave and get some kind of spin-off." So it seems despite all Frank's statements and the rumor mill, he's still in the dark about Teresa's fate, though he did have an idea for a Real Housewives House Husband spin-off or an Ultimate Guys Trip edition of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip.
Do you think Bravo will ever do a show where the husbands go to like the Bahamas together?
Angel, every single day, and I tell everybody when it messages me, message Andy.
If they could put together an ultimate men's trip, who would go on it with you?
It would have to be, for sure, me, Joe Gorga, Joe Beningo. I like Eddie Estefo, who I'm friends with from Potomac. Mauricio, just because Mauricio, he garners a lot of attention.
Right.
I'm very close with Todd, Alexis.
Oh, yeah.
Seth from Salt Lake City. Listen, I would say PK, but I don't think PK would last with us out there.
I know we've all chatted in the comments about seeing the Real Housewives of New Jersey men take on their own show and bring back some lighthearted TV to Bravo. Would you get behind a Real House Husbands show? I think it would be an incredible move for Bravo, but let me know your dream cast in the comments below. Anyway, back to Teresa and the future of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Frank wasn't the only co-star who had something to say about a cast shakeup. On Monday, 8th July, Melissa Gorga was interviewed by Entertainment Tonight at the New York premiere of Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black, where she agreed there needs to be a cast shakeup and made public digs at two of her castmates for being dirty behind the scenes. Two guesses who she's referring to. Check this out.
People have been saying that changes need to happen. I agree with that 100%. I think things have gotten really toxic. There's 2 of my cast members that have played really dirty behind the scenes, and it's coming out. It's all coming.
In the August 15th episode of her podcast, On Display with Melissa Gorga, which aired after the season finale and the cast rewatch reunion episode, Melissa also firmly stated that she believes Real Housewives of New Jersey with this current cast is done, saying things have become, quote, so dark and so dirty, and things can't continue with the current cast. Joe also chimed in on this episode, saying it's a shame what things have come to. Check this out.
Andy, it's done. This cast, guys, as you know it, is over. I think when Andy says all these things about a reboot, I know there is a possibility of them doing what they did to New York, right? Where it's like a full reboot, but we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know who they're going to keep. Like I said, I think they're going to keep 3 or 4. It was very clear that this group is divided. They're not real friends anymore. It's cut so deep that no one can go back. So they do have to get to the point where, you know, they figure it out.
So that's what Melissa and Joe think. But before we get into Andy Cohen's latest comments, there's one last housewife who has also spoken publicly on Teresa and Louie lately, Margaret Josephs. On an episode of 2 Teas in a Pod with Teddy Mellencamp and Tamra Judge, Margaret was asked if she thinks Louie and Teresa will stay together, and she predicted they would not. She stated, quote, "Do I think this is forever? No. That's just my opinion." She said that she, quote, wishes no ill on them, and that while she thinks Teresa really, really loves Louie, she doesn't think they'll go the distance. She also took the opportunity to speak out about his half-hearted Instagram apology for the dark comments Louie made about her son. Here's a quick reminder of that.
Tell her to stay away from our family. And you know what? I hope Margaret and her family suffer. You know, I hope her son suffers the way I suffered, the way other people in our family have suffered dealing with a woman like that. She's a disgusting, vile human being.
Our kids suffered because of what she's doing.
She's here to take advantage of everything that's going on, and she's a real piece of garbage.
Pause the screen now to read through or check out our previous video linked below for the full rundown. Commenting on this apology, Marge said it made no difference to her because, quote, "Unfortunately, he is igniting. There's sick people in this world, and they could have fans that are unwell and that could be igniting people to do very harmful things." Basically fearing that one of Louie's fans could go off the rails and seek to hurt her or her son. So his apology is just a bit too little, too late, and I think we can all agree to that. So the housewives and house husbands have given their thoughts, but it seems no one really knows where things will go from here, as season 15 is yet to start filming. The real authority on the subject, Andy Cohen, has recently discussed the matter. After we shared some clips from Radio Andy in our last video, where Andy agreed with a caller that a cast shakeup is needed to refresh the old and toxic storylines, he spoke to Extra last Thursday, where unfortunately he said there's no answer right now as to the future of Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Is it not time for a rebrand? It is time.
Yes.
I think it's time to do what happened with New York, bring fresh faces in, get rid of all the others, set them free. Let them move on to the new.
We're going to figure something out. We're all on the same page. How about that?
Some people are saying it's a new era for New Jersey, that you're going to completely reshake up the cast. Is there any truth to that?
I wish that I had an answer for you. We actually don't. We're going to figure it out.
Although Andy has agreed that there's no moving forward with this group as it is, other sources with direct knowledge have told TMZ that production isn't going to focus on next season until early 2025. And there is, at present, no truth to the claim that Teresa has been asked to leave, with casting decisions still yet to be made. So I guess for now, as of time of recording in August 2024, there's no decision yet as to Teresa's fate. That's all for today's Celebrity News Addict update. What do you think about the future of Real Housewives of New Jersey? Do you think Teresa will be fired or politely asked to leave the show? Can we expect a spin-off with Teresa and Louie, or a house husband's ultimate guys trip? Will there be a whole new cast of Real Housewives of New Jersey for season 15? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more celebrity news and updates on these stories as they happen. Thanks for watching.